This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Swapnila, what is the difference in the approach and philosophy to fitness in West versus India versus Japan?
So for example, when we talk about West, so there fitness, a lot of importance is given to physical fitness. So there fitness is looked from lens of your physical fitness. If we talk about India, then I think India has a more holistic approach towards fitness, because here your fitness includes your physical health plus mental health, which is for example reflected in our yoga, which includes both your physical and mental health. And if I talk, although I don't know much, I've not heard much about Japan, but what I've seen is that Japanese in Japan, it's like a kind of way of life, because that is also reflected in their food. Because we can see most of the Japanese people, like the cases of obesity is very low in Japan, because that is how their eating habits, their food in general, that is all included in their lifestyle.
You're from Nandurbar?
Nandurbar, yes.
Nandurbar. All right. So Nandurbar was in news because of some certain news with respect to malnutrition.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
So what is the news there?
So, sir, recently a report has come out which has highlighted that the highest cases of malnutrition in Maharashtra is reported from Nandurbar district. So, the cases of stunting, wasting, and even mother health is being severely affected in district of Nandurbar.
What is the reason for it?
So there are like multiple reasons for this. So for example, sir, Nandurbar is primarily a tribal district. So there, since there's like a lot of tribal population there, the level of awareness among them in terms of your health benefits or the awareness program of our government, they don't reach them as frequently or as effectively they should reach there. So that is like major, if the root cause of the issue is this.
You are an MBA in marketing.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between marketing and sales?
So in marketing, we create, we identify and analyze consumer need. In sales, so the sales team is supposed to convert the consumer need into the sale. So basically that is converting the need into money. And marketing is basically identifying the need and conveying it to consumer how your product is relevant to the need of the consumer.
Can you explain from an example?
Sir, if I take example of my recent company where I was working, 3M. So we sell this brand called Scotch Brite. So now Scotch Brite being a household cleaning product, so there we communicate in marketing, we communicate to the consumer what are the product benefits of the product, why do they need to follow cleanliness in their home, and how different products can help them to clean different elements. We highlight different items like say antimicrobial features. So now this is all creating awareness about the product. If I talk about sales team, so they are majorly focused on making sure that my product are available at right place at right time. So be it say retail outlet or e-commerce outlet. So ensuring that these products are there and basically the product features are communicated to the consumers and consumer buys the product.
You worked at a company called 3M.
Yes, sir.
What is this 3M? How did it get its name?
So this company was started in Massachusetts in United States. So when it started, it was basically started as a mining company. So hence the name was given as Massachusetts Mining Manufacturing Company. So hence it came as 3M.
You had a pre-placement offer from Vodafone for
Yes, sir.
internship. What is the reason that Vodafone was not able to survive the Indian telecom industry?
Um,
You know the answer or you don't know the answer?
So I have some knowledge about the challenges which Vodafone.
Tell me two reasons why it was not able to survive.
So one is the level of competition which was offered from players like Jio, which played on cost and pricing, and second was Vodafone also had to, like, they were facing a lot of financial strain because of the investment which they had to do in, say, buying the spectrum or the infrastructure investment, and so a lot of financial strain was faced by Vodafone. So I could
The
think of
second
these
reason
two.
with respect to the regulation and certain fines or penalties or tax demands that were put before
Right, sir.
Vodafone. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
What was the tax demand?
Yes. So government was of the view that telecom company should pay taxes on the business which might not be coming from their core business. For example, these telecom companies have, say, they might have, say, some guest house or some other, infrastructure which they are not using for their core business. So government was of the opinion that tax should also be paid on that, whereas telecom companies were arguing that since it's not a part of core business, they should not be, they should not be liable to pay tax on that. So there was like a lot of controversy happening on that.
What is the difference between a consumer and a customer?
So the consumer is basically a potential buyer of any product. So I might be, searching for a soap bar. I might be searching about it. So I am a consumer of the product. But when I go to a shop and I purchase it, that is the time when I become the customer of any product.
Is it possible that you may have a customer who's not a consumer?
Yes, sir. So there are cases wherein we call it as impulse purchase. For example, you might not have been thinking about purchasing any product, but you go to a store, you see something, lying at the, say, cash counter, and you buy it in a, very impulse manner. So that time, although you become a customer, but you might have not been, a product consumer.
You practice acro yoga. What is it?
So acro yoga is basically a yoga which is performed by yoga poses performed by a person in the air, and that person in the air, who is called flyer, is supported by another person who is in touch with the ground, who is called base. So it is basically a group or a, partner based yoga.
So how many people are needed for practicing this?
So the minimum people required are 3. One is the flyer, who is performing the poses. Second is base, who supports the flyer. And third is spotter, who basically ensures that safety is there for the flyer. And it can grow as much as you want.
How did you get into this practicing acro yoga? Where did you learn it from?
So my office was located just opposite to Kaban Park in Bangalore, and I used to go very frequently to park for small walks. So there on a weekend when I was going there, I saw some people practicing this acro yoga in the park, and I found it very interesting and very fascinating. So I just went across to them.
Would it be correct to add yoga to it?
Sorry?
To this acrobatic activity, would it be fair to add the words yoga to it?
Yes, sir. I think it is appropriate only because see, here we are performing yoga poses at the end of the day, and here also we are using basic philosophy of yoga when we are not only focusing on physical activities, for example asanas, but along with that focus is also on your breathing activity. How do you balance? So I think the basic fundamentals between both of them is similar. It's just that it has got that additional factor of acrobatics and a partner dynamics in it.
You also like to do Bollywood dancing.
Yes, sir.
Bollywood has been in a lot of bad light these days. What is the reason?
Yes, so there has been some controversy around, the way through which Bollywood songs or some part of the movies are portrayed. So there are like multiple again reasons for it. One is that some people argue that the way in which it is portrayed is hurting religious sentiment of some section of the society, while other section argues that there should be a freedom of expression for creators and artists. So there is this debate going on between both the section, and hence the one section of the society sees Bollywood in a slightly controversial light.
What are the major challenges before Maharashtra as a state today?
So one of the challenges which I can think of right now is that there's a regional imbalance which one can see in Maharashtra. For example, most of the development in Maharashtra has been around western Maharashtra, and eastern Maharashtra, be it Marathwada or Vidarbha region. So there is lack of like development is not at the right at same similar pace to the western Maharashtra. So I think this is one of the major issue which the state is facing.
If you are made an advisor to the CM of Maharashtra,
Yes.
what suggestions would you give to him to boost Maharashtra's economy?
So there are at least 2 to 3 suggestions which I would like to give. So firstly is that I would try to prioritize the different region of the Maharashtra, and see what is the unique opportunity which is present in all of the region. So I'll basically do what we call as SWOT analysis in marketing of each region, that what are the positive, negative opportunities.
Tell us 2 or 3 sectors which you think Maharashtra has untapped potential.
So sectors like, for example, tourism is, I think, one sector which has a lot potential than the current development which is there. So that is one sector which I can think of. And second is, sir, MSME sector is also growing in
MSME
the.
sector would not call it a sector per se. It is MSME may exist across all sectors, right? The medium
Yes,
and
sir.
small enterprises, right? So
That is true. But that as a cluster, also we can look it as a
so you
different
could
cluster.
say manufacturing, you mean to say. Swapnila, what does your name mean?
So Swapnila is basically combination of Swapna and Ila. So Swapna is dream in Marathi. So this is name basically means a dreaming girl.
So do you just dream or do you live your dreams?
So I given my 100% to live the dreams, which I see. So, but again, just like in life, not every dream is satisfied.
So one last question, Swapnila, why do you want to join the civil services?
So while working on multiple marketing projects, the thing which I realized over time is that through my ad campaigns, I was basically, somewhat contributing in, creating a social change, or, somewhat create that conversation around social change in the society. For example, when I was working on Scotch Brite Ghar Sabka Kaam Sabka brand campaign, so there what we saw is that although we were giving out the message that everyone should contribute in the household work, but my logo had a woman showing a bindi, which was kind of stereotypical to a Indian woman. And then when we realized that, we changed the logo completely. So this is like one of the small way through which I realized that at the end of the day, brands do try to create a change in the society. And but again, there's a encompassing business goals, encompassing that social change. So I've seen that in civil services, I'll get an opportunity to work on bringing similar kind of social change, but at a much more macro level issues, say like health, sanitation, or even women education. And there I'll be able to catering to much wider audience compared to what I'm currently doing in marketing. So I feel that with all of this, I'll be able to contribute somewhat in the growth story of India.
All right. That is all, Swapnila. So interview is over.
Okay.